always been restoring my own vehicles, and I just can't seem to stop doing that. I love the restoration more than the owning. It's the actual art and the craft of producing a unique vehicle that I really love so much. I'm Shane Gilchrist. I'm a car enthusiast. I've been a car enthusiast and a car guy for 35 years. I bought my first car at 16. I got it from a wrecking yard for $500. And from that point, I just continued to do up multiple cars. I didn't have much money, so we were always trying to get cars on the cheap. In the early years, I really learned how to build nice cars on a shoestring budget, and I've always had an aptitude to get a car to look right. It's possible to build a car that looks ugly. It's possible to build a car that just doesn't sit right. It's the wrong color. It doesn't look right. It doesn't present right, and it'll never be attractive. So that's the craft of customizing a car and the craft of creating a car that's appealing to the eye. And that's where my passions always come from, is the whole art form of building a unique vehicle that is the envy of someone else, or really pushes someone else's buttons, that they really like what they see. So out of that, I guess, aptitude, I just continued to do that. I professionally started to build cars for people. While I was doing cars professionally, I was always still continuing to build cars myself. My passion was always in the shed at home, staying away from the three girls, in the man cave, just doing what I love to do. It's my outlet. It's the way I de-stress. It's the way I relax, actually. I find it very hard to be idle and just sit around and do nothing. But while I'm banging some metal, welding some metal up, spraying something, sanding, I'm happy that I can see what I'm creating, and each day you can look back and see that you've achieved something. I guess I'm best known for the iconic car Fat Attack. It's a 38 Chrysler Imperial sedan. I dragged it out of a swamp when I was about 21. I got it given to me for nothing, and it was just a rusted out piece of good for nothing scrap metal, basically. But because I was 20, had no money, and someone gave it to me for free, it was my first hot rod project. It was, as I say, complete basket case. So I did decide to build an absolute radical custom with it. So it was chopped 3 inches, it was channeled 3 inches, it was lowered 12 inches. The bumper bars were removed, it had concealed boot hinges on it, and numerous other custom touches that did actually lead to it winning Top Radical Custom time and time again all over the country. But it was a car that I learnt my craft on. It was the first car I ever chopped. It was the first car I ever painted in 2-pack. It was my first pre-48 vehicle that I ever completed. I've had that car 28 years now, and I don't see myself parting with it because I can never replace it. And I guess it's very much a part of who I am and what I did in my early years. I have bought and sold a lot of classic cars over the years, and I guess it's something that, because of necessity with just growing my own collection, I've started to realise that I really enjoy it, and I think I've got an aptitude for it, and that's why I'd like to help other people by on-selling their cars on their behalf. It helps the buyer and it helps the seller. It's interesting sometimes how you end up deciding on a car. I've had definite phases in the types of cars I've enjoyed. I had early on, say, the panel vanning interest, then I had some hot rodding interest, T-buckets. Then I got more interested in Aussie iconic cars like the XY Falcons and the XP Falcons. And then I found myself being drawn towards American and left-hand drive cars, and then got more involved in, as I say, Thunderbirds and those bigger types of cars. I had a Falcon era, I've had a Thunderbird era. Probably in a truck era at the moment. I really like my commercials and the pickup trucks, and also really getting more and more into horsepower. currently got a couple of Thunderbirds. I've got a 71 Dodge Challenger, a 58 Chev pickup truck, and numerous other American and Australian muscle cars, and enjoy owning them, but even more so I enjoy the building of them and the expression of who I am in making them an individual car that suits my taste in cars.